Welcome back, deep divers. We are strapping in, tuning in, and getting ready for another mind-expanding journey today. Jamie, I'm already buzzing.
Aren't we always, Alex? And today, oh boy, today we're diving into something that, honestly, I think every single person needs to hear. We're talking about taking your life from meh to OMG, I'm a rock star.
Meh to rock star. I like the sound of that. I mean, who hasn't felt that lukewarm life at some point, right? That feeling where you know you're capable of more, but you're just stuck. Like, come on, this is the best I can do? Really? The author of our source text today felt exactly that way, apparently. Grouchy about God, too cool for self-help, but still questioning their deeper purpose.
Exactly. And that's what makes this so relatable. Our author, Jen Sincero, used to think quotes like, you can start out with nothing and out of no way, a way will be made, were a bunch of crap.
Oh, been there, done that. I've rolled my eyes at my fair share of inspirational memes. But something shifted for her, clearly.
Massively. She describes her life as this snore, going through the motions, punctuated by occasional flare-ups of awesomeness. But deep down, she knew she was a rock star, capable of anything. Yet she'd get sidetracked by a parking ticket, completely derailing her big insights.
Oh, the parking ticket. I felt that in my soul. You're having this profound moment of self-discovery, and then bam, reality hits with a bill you can't afford, and you're back to eating dollar tacos alone. It's like the universe is actively trying to keep you down.
Or maybe it's not the universe. Maybe it's a little closer to home. But before we get there, the core message from the introduction, the absolute foundational shift, is this. It's not about wanting to change your life. It's about deciding to change your life.
Wait, hold on. Wanting versus deciding. That sounds subtle, but it feels massive. What's the difference?
Picture this, Alex. Wanting can be done sitting on the couch with a bong in your hand and a travel magazine in your lap. You want to go to Bali, but you're not actually doing anything.
Okay, I'm picturing it. Very vivid.
Deciding, on the other hand, means jumping in all the way, doing whatever it takes, and going after your dreams with the tenacity of a dateless cheerleader a week before prom night.
The tenacity of a dateless cheerleader before prom night. That's a whole new level of commitment. So it's not just a thought, it's an actionable, all-in switch.
Precisely. And that decision often means doing things you never imagined, things that might make your friends think you've gone a bit weird and different. You have to let go of old limiting beliefs and cling to your decision like your life depends on it. Because the author says your life does depend on it.
Wow, that's a gut punch, but in a good way. It's like that Anais Nin quote she mentions, and the day came when the risk to remain tight in a bud was more painful than the risk it took to blossom. That's so powerful. You get to a point where the discomfort of staying the same outweighs the fear of change.
Absolutely. And Sincero shares her own wild journey. Motivational seminars with high fives, beating pillows with baseball bats, marrying herself, writing love letters to her uterus.
Oh, whoa, she went all in.
She did. She took one for the team, as she puts it, hoping her book will ease others into these concepts without making them run off screaming. Her big focus was money, actually. She was a writer and musician, felt noble focusing on art, but then realized she needed to get over her fear and loathing of money.
That's a huge one for artists, isn't it? The starving artist trope? I feel that. So she hired a coach, tripled her income in 6 months. That's incredible. It sounds like this isn't just fluffy self-help. There are tangible results.
Oh, it's far from fluffy. This is about making a conscious choice to open your mind. Because if you want a life you've never lived, you have to do things you've never done. And that leads us straight into part 1 of the book, How You Got This Way.
Haha, the origins of our fucked-upedness, as she so eloquently puts it.
Indeed. Chapter 1 is brilliantly titled, My Subconscious Made Me Do It. And she starts with this hilarious story about a terrible bowling accident.
The bowling accident. I loved that. She was so focused on her victory dance, she slid right over the line on the oily lane and crashed. And then weeks later, she's in bed with this guy she met at Macy's, explaining her foot pain to him, and he says he has the same pains.
And then it gets even better. She realizes this guy is the mattress salesman who made her so uncomfortable because he kept lying next to her on the display beds like they were at summer camp, while the other salesman stood politely.
And she didn't want to embarrass him. She was so caught up in not making him uncomfortable that she blew her only chance that week to buy a mattress. That's a classic example of prioritizing someone else's feelings over your own needs.
Exactly. And she traces this back to her family's confrontation toolbox. Freeze, talk about the weather, go blank, burst into tears later. She calls it equating confrontation with heart failure. This is the setup for her big point. It's not your fault that you're fucked up. It's your fault if you stay fucked up. But the foundation of your fucked upness is something that's been passed down through generations.
Wait, so you're saying a lot of my hang-ups, my default reactions, my ways of dealing with the world aren't even mine originally? They're like hand-me-down beliefs?
Precisely. Think about it. When you came screaming onto this planet, you were a wild-eyed creature, purely in the moment. No shame about your body, no concept of scary or too expensive. Just a human being. But almost immediately, you started receiving messages from the people around you, from your parents, from society. Things like, the world is a dangerous place, money doesn't grow on trees, being an artist isn't a real career.
So they're trying to protect and educate us, but they're inadvertently passing down their own limiting beliefs, which they got from their parents, and so on. It's like a generational game of telephone, but with anxieties.
A very apt analogy, Alex. And the crucial part here is the conscious versus subconscious mind. Our conscious mind, our frontal lobe, doesn't fully develop until puberty. That's where we figure things out, judge, analyze, worry about big ears. It's the relentless overachiever.
The part that's constantly running the mental to-do list and replaying embarrassing moments.
Nailed it. But our subconscious mind, that's fully developed the moment we arrive. It's all about feelings, instincts, and, crucially, it believes everything because it has no filter. It doesn't know the difference between what's true and what's not.
Oh my gosh, so if your parents are constantly struggling with money, complaining about it, your subconscious just absorbs that as money equals struggle, or money sucks and causes pain, even if it's not objectively true for you.
Yes, it's like a little kid who doesn't know any better. If your parents tell you Santa is real, you believe them. Why wouldn't you believe any other garbage, as Sincero puts it? These unfiltered messages get lodged in our squishy little subconscious minds as truth, forming our beliefs, and they run the show, unanalyzed, until we're on a therapy couch decades later.
Oh my gosh, so every time I've asked myself, what the F is my problem, the answer is probably buried in some lame, limiting, and false subconscious belief I didn't even know I had?
Precisely. The conscious mind thinks it's in control, but it isn't. The subconscious mind is in control, even though it doesn't think about anything.
This explains so much. It's like driving with one foot on the gas and one foot on the brake. I consciously want to go fast, but my subconscious is slamming on the brakes.
That's the perfect analogy she uses. Conscious mind, I want to find my soulmate. Subconscious, intimacy leads to pain and suffering. Result, ringless finger. Or, I want to lose 25 pounds. Subconscious, people aren't safe. I must build a shield to protect myself. Result, a fortress of flab.
Oh my god, the fortress of flab. This is brutal, but so real. It's like when you try to figure out why your front porch smells bad, so you light incense, set up fans, blame the dog, but until you realize there's a dead skunk under the house, the problem just lingers.
The dead skunk analogy is brilliant, isn't it? The first step is awareness. You have to become aware of these limiting subconscious beliefs. Look at the less than impressive areas of your life and try to connect them to underlying beliefs. What were your parents' beliefs about money, for example, or relationships?
So just becoming aware is the first step, like finding the dead skunk, not even removing it yet, just knowing it's there. That's huge. because then you can start making a decision to do something about it.
Exactly. And that naturally leads us to chapter 2, which Sincero calls the G word.
Ooh, the G word. Is it giggles, gummies, guacamole?
Good guesses, but no, it's God. Or goddess, the big guy, the universe, source energy, higher power, the grand poobah, gut, intuition, spirit, the force, the zone, the mother lode. Okay, a lot of G words.
Okay, so a lot of G words and non-G words. Basically, it's about connecting to something bigger than yourself, whatever you choose to call it.
Absolutely. And Sincero shares her own journey with this. She started out snarky, eye-rolling, but she was so broke and clueless that she was open to suggestions. She gave good old God a chance because she literally had nothing to lose.
She used the line dancing analogy here, right? Starting out making fun of it, then secretly enjoying it, then becoming obsessed.
Yes, sneaking off every weekend to merrily line dance their little achy-breaky hearts out. It perfectly illustrates how skepticism can transform into obsession when you start experiencing positive shifts. And the foundation for all the work is this. The universe is made up of source energy. All energy vibrates at a certain frequency, which means you are vibrating at a certain frequency.
Whoa, so everything is vibrating and I'm vibrating, and the things I want or don't want are also vibrating. And then vibration attracts like vibration, the law of attraction.
You got it.